Good evening. Thank you for joining us. The Oneida Nation reaching a major milestone according to a recent economic impact study done by St. Norbert's Center for Business and Economic Analysis.
The nation is surpassing $1 billion of statewide economic output each year while nearing 6,000 employees. First Alert Update, Drew Best breaks down the new study while hearing from tribal leaders.
Increases across the board for the Oneida Nation economy in recent years. It's near $984 million economic output in Brown and Outagamie counties, marking a $240 million jump since its last study in 2017.
It's quite impressive to me how the tribe has stewarded the resources that they have gotten as a result of those enterprises, and they reinvested in those very wisely.
The nation continues to see increasing revenue from Oneida-owned gas stations, banks, and other businesses, but its gaming sector continues to be the leading enterprise, driving $324 million of economic impact alone. Its growth has made way for over $335 million in compensation for the nation's workers.
They're all different frontline jobs up to upper management jobs and CEO type positions, and being able to have that offerings in our area I think is very important, again, to increase that quality of life of the greater community and in particular for our tribal members.
For Chairman Tahasi Hill, the nation's growth since the last study feels that much more impressive when factoring in the challenges of the COVID pandemic.
We had shut down our gaming facilities and pretty much all of our offices for about 67 days. There was major layoffs during that time, and then so being able to go from that to where we're bounced back to today I think is very significant.
While the nation looks to be moving in a positive direction, Chairman Hill says there's more work to be done to ensure that trend continues. Reporting on the Oneida Reservation, Drew Best, Action 2 News.